taken notice, Batman called in, "Mercy, I have the Justice League heavy team ready." But she told him to hold off because they had a plan. She was already en route and she was ready to drop off. She had a team with her, and this team member was hungry. This is when we find out her team member was actually Parasite himself. Superman was about to be crushed, which is why it was perfect that he dropped in the lick of time. Parasite was a good guy, and he was there to feed on energy, Doomsday's energy. Superman begged him not to kill him, but how could he? The energy is bottomless. This is delicious. Doomsday, however, didn't think so. Superman tried to warn Parasite, but it was already too late. Doomsday had a hold of him, and he carried him and split him in half for everyone to see. This was so shocking. Superman and Mercy froze in their steps. Jesus Christ. The only person that could wake them up was Doomsday himself, because he wasn't done. And now, Superman was angry. Enough. Punch after punch came. Superman was filled with rage. The floor was bubbling. His red levels were spiking. He was becoming terrifying. Something straight out of an Invincible comic. The blood splatter was incredible. Mercy literally had to scream, "Superman, stop!" before he stopped in his tracks. He was supercharged right now. He could have killed Doomsday, but thankfully he didn't. He would have just come back stronger. Now, at least, the super team was here, and they were going to tranquilize him. Parasite had done his job. He had drained him of enough energy to allow him at least be put to sleep. Superman, however, was still supercharged. Only Lois could bring him back, and she did. But even she could tell he was at his limits, especially because Parasite died for him. Thankfully, his death was not in vain. Now they had Doomsday sedated, but that would never hold. He was the ultimate after all. Mercy looked at Lois and said, "You may need to leave, since you don't want anybody finding out who you are." So she grabbed her man and set flight. Today was a hard day, and worst of all, Jimmy was curious about who Superwoman is. Lois had to play it cool. She had to actually act like she was sick when she was just badly hurt. We could literally see the bruises all over her body. Thankfully, her husband was Superman. He was used to the bruises, so he knew how to fix it. With one ice-cold breath, he froze the part of her injuries, and she was relieved. Thanks. But he was not in a good mood at all. She could tell. What's wrong? And he revealed today was just a wreck. She honestly thought he was worried about her. He was, but he was more worried about Time Trapper because he warned that Lost